welcome to Red 10 Sisters TV. Today we're talking about coming off the pill.
Yes, we are.
So someone has written in to ask what can they expect when coming off hormonal birth control?
Yeah, great question. And I wish I could give a straightforward answer, but the answer is actually that there's a huge range of what to expect. Some women bounce back like that first month. Other women I've seen up to 2 years it's taken to get a regular period back. And then everything in between. Women with, normal cycles, but that are much, much longer than they're used to. So 35, 40 days, sometimes no periods for the first few months. Sometimes lots of mucus, sometimes no mucus. There's huge range.
Huge range, yeah. I think particularly coming off of hormonal birth control, a lot of women are, of course, afraid of getting pregnant. So I think the long cycles can be really scary because they're like, oh my goodness, I'm expecting my period by now and it hasn't shown up.
Yes.
So I think that's really important for them to know that it might be quite a bit longer than they remember.
Absolutely. The other thing is that for women who are trying to plan a family, it can be very stressful because if you're expecting things to go back to normal right away so that you can start planning or trying for a family and it doesn't happen, it can be very concerning. So that's one of the reasons I like to recommend that women come off the pill at least a year, minimum of a year before they plan to start a family, just so that you have that time to wait for your cycles to normalize and to devote some attention and time to getting your health back on track. The pill depletes us of all sorts of essential nutrients, and so you're going to want to spend some time just committing to taking care of your own body. Because if you don't get pregnant right away, it's very stressful, and it can become this snowball thing where the stress leads to more infertility, and then before you know it, women end up in fertility clinics and spending tens of thousands of dollars, and the problem may have just been not giving themselves enough time to recover from the pill.
Yeah. I think another thing to keep in mind is a lot of women are put on birth control pills, not necessarily as a birth control, but actually to deal with other symptoms. And those symptoms are really masked by the pill, so they might come back not only as bad as they were originally, but even worse, like particularly for polycystic ovarian syndrome. And there's endometriosis,
menstrual cramps, all of that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And again, that's why you really want to devote some time to working with professionals who can support you on that. I spend quite a bit of time with my clients talking about the importance of diet and how you can manage those things naturally, but you might want to work with a naturopathic doctor, a holistic nutritionist, a Chinese medicine doctor to help you to get your body back on track to address those underlying health issues that might have been the reason that you went on the pill in the first place.
Yeah. So now let's talk about some of the positive things about coming off hormonal birth control.
Yep.
And I can talk a little bit about my story. So I was put on the pill, I don't know, I think I was about 16 or so. And very shortly thereafter, I was put on an antidepressant. And I really strongly believe that there's a correlation. And that certainly is backed up by a lot of evidence around the birth control pill and how it can lead to depression. And we've certainly heard that from tons and tons of our clients.
Yep.
And so for me, coming off the pill actually meant that I was able to come off my antidepressants. And that's huge for me. So that's definitely a positive for, coming off of the pill. Can you talk about some of the other positive things about coming off the pill?
Oh, well, where to start?
Yeah, I realize there's lots, and you could talk about this all day long.
I could. But just, getting to know your body and figuring out, as I said, those things that were originally masked by the pill, you can actually figure out how to address them in a healthy way. And so it's just so empowering to figure out, what's going on with your body and how you can support it through proper nutrition and diet and lifestyle changes and figuring out, the way that our bodies are actually meant to cycle in its connection to, I'm going to get a little woo-woo here, but like the moon and the seasons and, our bodies are meant to have a cyclic pattern that mirrors what happens in nature. And it's really nice to start feeling that connection.
Yeah, because I think a lot of women don't realize that when they're on the pill, a lot of the things that they think are happening aren't. Like a period is not a true period, right? It's withdrawal.
And you're not ovulating, all sorts of things that are supposed to be happening are not happening.
Yeah.
Some of the other benefits, a lot of women experience an increase in libido.
Woohoo! Yeah,
Sweet! Because kind of like contradictory in a way is that women actually often experience decreased libido on the pill, so it kind of defeats the point of being on the pill if you don't actually want to have sex. So increased libido is another big one. So.
Thanks so much for the question. If you've got a question for the sisters, send an email to thesisters@red10sisters.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and if you want more goodies from us, make sure to sign up for our newsletter. Thanks so much. Bye.